I welcome Queenstown Arena. Frosty night here in Queenstown. It's always frosty, but it's going to heat up here. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me I have the legend, the coach, the player, Dan Van Sickle.
Good evening, everybody. Great to be here for the second game between our SkyCity Stampede and the Pure NZ Admirals. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, it was an interesting game last night. All conversation I had is the score wasn't indicative to the play. Last night I had the grace of Craig Jack with me last night, and he used the word puck luck. Admirals had no puck luck. The puck bouncing the wrong way. You know how it bounces off a bar? Instead of going in the net, it bounced out over a stick at the critical time. Those unlucky things. But you can't, you don't like to blame a game on that. But there was a little bit of that happening.
Of course, and the other side of that, of course, is the not luck part. It is the hard work that came from Joel Hasselman,
Joel
Gerard. Sorry,
the future Joel Hasselman.
The future surely is now, isn't it? And 39 of 40.
Yeah, outstanding. Tonight we'll have the veteran and the legend Aston Brooks in net. Big shout out to Tony, his father, who'll be watching this in the comfort of his home. No use getting out in this cold. All right, so we're looking at just a couple minutes before the start of the game, but more importantly, the dynamics of the league right now, which we're getting down to the pointy end of the season.
Absolutely. We just saw that there is about 5 minutes left in the Canterbury versus Auckland Admirals game. And Botany Swarm game, and Canterbury is only up by 1 goal.
Yeah.
So that one's on the line still there.
Still on the line. We know that'll be really neat that if Canterbury can actually eke that out, just get themselves involved in their playoffs. So we've also got Thunder and the Steel in the women's league, which is being played. I think they both pitched up their positions, Auckland being in first place.
Yes, they have.
For the women's league, and Dunedin in second place. But
this is the final weekend for their season, correct?
Yeah,
yes.
Correct.
And then they have the finals in Christchurch next weekend.
Right on, and the Wild have eked out a third place, and Canterbury in fourth. So this will be.
And they're getting hot at the right time, it seems. Our Wakatipu Wild girls.
Yeah, so we'll have that tournament next weekend in Canterbury if you're handy, or it's a whole weekend of hockey.
It sure is. Semis and then straight into the finals.
Straight into the finals the next day. So all those things. Early today, another interesting game. U18 boys here in Wakatip, the Rangers playing against a team from Quebec, which was, I believe, Quebec won the game, but outstanding to see the international interaction. I know that Coach JC took a group last year of Rangers to Quebec, his home province in Canada, and they played there. And so they just reciprocated and came here this year. Amazing to see a small country like New Zealand interacting internationally, not at the top level, but just in that grassroots level.
Absolutely.
Really cool.
We're fortunate enough to have a couple of those Quebecers play against us in our Wednesday night Jurassic game, and they were quite handy. So it's definitely great for our youth hockey players to see that level of play come across the pond and give us a showing.
Yeah. So we're only moments away from the puck drop. We'll be bringing to you.
I'd be certain that head coach Blake Jackson of the Pure NZ Admirals would have had some things to say before the start of tonight's game. Like you said, puck luck might have played a role, but I'm sure they're in a small rink like ours, they'll be looking to play the body a bit more tonight.
The work that has to happen in order for the Admirals to shut down that first line of the Stampede, that gets sticky as in glued onto those very Gene is slippery as ever.
Is he ever? And that's actually quite a fun role to take on, as when you're coming up against a line like Connor Jean and his two wingers. It can be quite a fun thing to put aside scoring goals and take on the character of shutting down that star player on the other team.
Yeah, it's often the coach will shoulder tap you and say, "That's your job." You would remember that, Dan.
I used to like getting that tap on the shoulder. Stick to him like glue.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and amazing first goal there by like the Freer brothers last night. Hey, Mitchell said, usually I was speaking to his mom today. Mitchell's usually a stay-at-home defenseman, but first goal, just carry down, beautiful shot on Prendergast, and then I think ended up with the two brothers scoring 2 goals each.
Yeah, 2 goals each,
making mom and dad very.
It's like
proud.
Our version of the Stahl brothers.
Yeah.
Pretty handy hockey family.
Yeah, big hockey family here. Actually, all the way through. The story is, I remember Luana Freer says a lot of people that make enough money, they often buy a holiday home. But he says, no, we just got 3 kids in hockey.
That's a classic.
Same amount of money spent, probably. So let's quickly run through that.
Starting lineup for tonight for our pure NZ Admirals coming in, playing against the Queenstown SkyCity Stampede. We've got Flynn Hayward-Jones, Aiden Cheney, Benjamin Stephen, Roscoe Eade, Alexander Regan, and Chaba Curso-Magos starting in net. And for the SkyCity Stampede, backing up the net, we've got Aston Brooks tonight. Our forwards are Jackson Flight, Ollie Rusky-Jones, and Captain Connor Harrison. And on the blue line, we've got Steph Amston and Axel Rusky-Jones.
So we got both Rusky-Joneses out there, Axel and Ollie. Mom and Dad will be very proud of this. All right, we're seconds away from Coach Ryan Hissong dropping the puck. And away we go. Amston losing it on the red line. Stephen bangs it in quickly. Quick line change for that. Quinn losing it in the neutral zone. Finally picked up by Rusky-Jones. Carries along the right side. Tries to tuck it in on the tight side on Chaba, but can't do that. And is battled for on that blue line. Banging at it. Finally cleared out. And Pure NZ move it up. Shot. Sneaky little shot. And Brooks was forced to make a quick leg save on the close side right after that first shot. Chamberlain with it now. Starts to skate it out. Just shovels it up to the red line where Roth picks it up and puts it back up to Freer. Just taps it in behind the net. Admirals pick that up. Intercepted by Freer in the high slot as the Admirals were trying to clear it, and a shot on net, and it rolls to the red line. Firing it in is Roth. Held behind the net. Cheney taps it up to the red line. Back in. Freer on the blue line. Pushes it up. And a very late call offside there.
A few referees sitting on the Admirals bench there calling that one, that's for sure.
Well, the bench is right on the blue line, so if anybody's really going to see it, it'll be them.
Still waiting for our first true hit of the game. A couple of bumps, but...
So, Hayward-Jones across.
And our low ceiling strikes again.
Low ceiling, yeah. The ring of the girder. So, Stampede having a little bit of dominance, but nothing really, there's nobody stamping yet, as in stamping their mark on this.
Bit of a neutral zone stalemate back and forth so far, but really no good offensive chances yet.
Admirals on the blue line. That's Eade. Carries to the blue line, loses it. Stampede carry behind the Admirals net, trying to center, can't do that. And Admirals start to march it out as Stephen picks it up on the red line. Puck just knocked off his stick on the blue line, but they rail it around behind that. Centering pass, no one there. Puck rolls around across the crease into the corner and bumped to the red line. Gene can't get that. Roby and Gene trying to handle it on the blue line. Caught in Gene's feet, and Roby ends up with it over the blue line, muscles it in, but picked up by the Admirals. Sevigny on the red line. Loses it to Chalice, who taps it back into the Admiral zone.
Not a lot of room out there.
No, it's a small ice, and they're moving fast. And battle behind the net. Water bottles, pucks, everything rolling around in the crease there. Aston Brooks' water bottle falls off the top of the net as the boys were pushing and shoving behind the net, Dan.
They sure were. I saw a bit more contact there. The Admirals have stepped up the physicality and are seeming to get the puck back onto their stick a bit easier after doing that.
Back to the point, shot, blocked, rolls out, red line. True picks it up. Roby on the red line now. Over the blue line, bobbles the puck in the corner. King battling with him. He's got De Jong with it. Finally it rolls out, and McCog takes a shot a little high. Another shot on target there from Rusky Jones from the point.
Something I really like to see is forwards working together to get the puck out of the corner. Once, as a line of forwards, once you've got the puck in the offensive corner and somebody's got that, pinning it up against the boards, there's a help situation there. And
a red flare goes up.
He did a great job of that time.
Back to the point. Rusky Jones hits a leg on Henry as he tries to shoot it from the point. Henry picks it up. Henry and Citron over the blue line, rails it behind the net. Rusky Jones picks it up. There's a few battling for it behind the net. Henry. Mawson can't keep that in. Vesper cross to Chamberlain, who carries over the blue line, taps up to Henry, and it's pushed into Stampede zone. Turned around quickly. Flight loses it on the blue line, leaves for Harrison, shot in front, and Rusky Jones picks up a bouncing puck on the far side and opens.
To me, that all starts with our captain, Connor Harrison, in our defensive zone, doing what good wingers do best and making sure the momentum continues as that puck gets over the blue line and into the neutral zone. Flighty took that with plenty of speed and may have been poke checked, but Connor picked up the cookie crumbs and laid it back in front of the net.
Yeah, it's just about keeping track of where the puck was. The control wasn't great, but it ended up in that back door. Eade with it now. Eade in his own zone. Regan carries over the blue line. Gives to Cheney. Taps it behind the net. And here's a chance for Devlin. He's got Freer on the far side. Devlin backs it off. Waits for some help. And loses it over the blue line. Freer. Devlin bounces off the boards. Kept in by Freer. Devlin, cross ice. Shot. Wide of the net. Devlin picks it up in the corner. That was it, I believe.
Nice. That's a good hit there.
Gene laying into Hayward Jones. Flight. Freer takes that shot. He's hungry for it.
That's the cannon we like to see from Mitchell Freer.
Mitchell Freer, who's quite impressive with that shot. Right on target. Blocker save, and it hits the timber.
The slap shot is a dying breed of shot. Even at the highest levels, we're not seeing as many slap shots taken these days, but when they are taken, boy.
Back in my day, it was the king. Puck dropped, rolls behind the net. Steven has it, pumps it up over the blue line to De Jong, who scrambles over the blue line, still has it in the corner, centers, shot, saved by Brooks. Another shot just wide. Admirals coming on with a flurry. Back to King, one-timer, blocked by Freer, taps it out, giving them a break and a change while Admirals regather in their own zone.
Lachlan always doing the little things. That's a good block shot from Lachlan Freer there.
NZIHL shot Kick save by Brooks and bounces to the red line. Stevens picks that up. Kicked off his skate onto Chamberlain. Skate 7-yard. Skates it in. Cross ice pass. Missed by De Jong. Off a skate. Bounces to the blue line where Chalice taps it all the way to the Admirals blue line. And Roby picks it off 7-year. Roby back to McCog, who took a shot. And McCog centering, and Kursamaga just covers that up there and just kind of slows the pace down.
Nice.
That was a flurry on both sides.
Absolutely. Love to see a goalie jumping on that puck for a whistle. I know when momentum's swinging for a team, getting that whistle can really help.
Yeah, it's more than just stopping the play. It's stopping the momentum of the opposing team as well.
Correct.
Big shout out to my camera person, T, and shout out to Josh Moore pushing the buttons tonight, keeping things running for us. We're just here for looks, Dan.
My mom always told me I had a face for radio.
Face for radio, that old chestnut. Yeah. Yeah, she's a frosty night here in Queenstown. I had to look at my bucket list, and it was frozen. All right, let's move on. Face off to the right. Kursamaga. Amston with it on the red line. Rusky Jones can't carry that over the blue line. Puck bouncing around weirdly in that neutral zone. Finally, Rusky Jones pushes it into Cafe corner behind the net. Him and Chamberlain having a bit of a pushing contest in the corner, and it's turned around. Mawson loses it to Rusky Jones. Chamberlain and Rusky Jones gathered behind the net. He's got help from Flight. Puck rolls in front, but Vesper picks that up and skates it all the way down to the corner. Then Amston has it. Picks that up in the corner. Harrison over the blue line. Against the boards, being pushed around by Hayward Jones. Centering pass, Gene takes a crack at things from the slot, and just, I think, Kabamaka just got a piece of that with his glove. No, Regan with it in the neutral zone, tapped into his own zone by
the Stampede are putting on continual pressure here. Continual forechecking pressure.
Great forechecking. Roth pushed against the boards, knocked off the puck. Set up by Cheney takes a shot.
Just as I say that, the Admirals go on the forecheck.
Roth mishandled that puck behind the net. That was a dangerous play. Freer now in the corner. Centers, tapped out to the blue line, and it's out. And now the Admirals move it out.
I feel like we've gone a couple of minutes here without a whistle.
I'm losing my breath. Stevens in the corner. Puck centered, tapped out by Brooks to the blue line. Gene centers high slot. Shot. Puck rolls free. Chava Marcus struggling to gather that puck up. It was just stopped, but it rolled out dangerously in the slot.
You mentioned the puck is bouncing around out there a little bit.
And here's De Jong over the blue line. Leaves for 7-yard, and it rails it behind the net. Freer just taps it down, and the puck rolls, and it will not be icing. King collects it behind his own net. Kept in by McCog. McCog on his own, trying to tuck it up tight on Kursamagas. And it's bounced out here by the Admirals. 7-yard over the blue line. Tapped back out by Chalice. Chamberlain collects on the red line and taps it in. True has it now. True, Chalice, back to True.
As we enter minute 3 without a whistle.
Here's Sitchin takes a shot blocked before it gets to Brooks. Centering pass tapped out all the way into Admiral zone where Chamberlain rails it all the way back up to the blue line. Henry across ice takes a shot. Good leg save. Henry takes another shot. Kick save by Rusky Jones. doing some great work on that defense there in the defensive zone. De Jong with it in his own zone, being harassed by Rusky Jones. Spins, breaks away from Rusky Jones. He's got the other Rusky Jones dogging him now. Brothers in arms. Amston picks it in his own zone, turns it over to Rusky Jones. Harrison with it now along that right side, skates it in, tries to tuck it in. Puck rolls dangerously in the slot. Nobody gets a handle on it, and finally knocked to the corner.
Curso Magos made a double beauty save there.
Admirals, Mawson taps it up to Vesper. Vesper can't handle it. It's bang back where Mawson picks it up on the red line. Beautiful stick handling by Mawson on that red line. And it's fired in behind the net. It was Amston. Cross ice pass to Chalice, hits Flight. Flight dances over the blue line. Centering pass, great break up there. And it's tapped to the red line where Roby picks it up. Chalice takes it in. Roby, shot, great save by Chaba. And it's brought back to the red line. Some great passing there, Chalice, Roby. And great work by Kursamaga there to make the save.
At this point, our officiators are just spectators.
Yeah, maybe their whistles are frozen. There hasn't been need for a whistle, but there's had about 3 or 4 line changes in this series.
Minute 6 now.
Stevens carries to the blue line, gets it knocked off his stick. McCog picks it up, rails it back. And it's behind the net with Frere. Stampede start to move it up.
Sometimes when you get lengths of periods of time like this with no whistle, the next whistle can often be a penalty.
Or a goal.
Yeah.
Stampede start to move it out of their own zone. Devlin hits Gene, can't control it. Puck rolls in front, but then kicked to the corner. Stevens in his own zone, tries to clear it out, can't. And finally, it bounced off a skate. Gene spins, shoots, gobbled up by Kursamaga.
And a beautiful save. Earlier on, we didn't get a whistle, but earlier on in that lovely period of play, we actually had a little behind-the-scenes thing happen that the refs missed. Our captain, Connor Harrison, gave a nice little cross-check to the hip side of Regan, and I saw him wince in pain, and he was looking for a penalty, but both refs didn't see it.
Nasty. That's a little bit cheeky.
Behind the scenes.
Yes, behind the scenes of hockey.
The game inside the game.
March it out. Blue line. 7-year centers. DeJong couldn't control that. Right in the slot. 7-yard in the corner with Rusky Jones. Bounced out to Freer. Feeds Gene. Feeds across ice to Devlin. Leaves for Amson's shot. Puck rolls dangerously on that tight side as Chava makes that first save. And once again, Gene to Devlin. In the corner knocked up by King, but still has the puck. Still controlling. Center pass. Spectacular leg save.
What a look from Dylan Devlin there as Connor Jean creeped to the back corner. But like you said, a spectacular save.
And that puck, the problem there was the puck was still free, and they just were unable to lift the puck over the pad. But spectacular work by Kursamaga.
Dylan Devlin was on the score sheet last night, but not for a goal. A classic Devs penalty.
Yeah.
Many ways to get on the score sheet.
That's not the way to do it. You'd never know about that, would you, Dan?
No, never. Penalties in minutes? I haven't had any of those.
No. What's a penalty? Puck rolls in. Chamberlain collects behind his own net.
This line has been forechecking so well all night.
Behind the net. Still controlling his Flight. Tap back to Rusky Jones in the corner. Back to True, who just rails it around behind the net again. And finally controlled by the Pure NZ. they march it into Stampede area. Behind the net. Crowd liking that hit. And puck dangerously in front.
I think that may have caught Brooks off guard a little bit, but cat-like reflexes, as always.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just that hustle from the Pure NZ in that Stampede zone, and
you are right. Their fans did enjoy seeing that bit of forechecking and contact in and behind the net.
For some reason, Vesper was left in front of the net as Stampede started to move it out, but it was kicked right back to him, but he couldn't control. Speaking of couldn't control, Campbell out there couldn't control as he skated over the blue line. Do we say he tripped over the blue line?
That's what we'll say. That's what I say when it happens.
Hayward Jones couldn't collect that on the blue line, and it bounces into the corner. Stampede offside to call. Eid was one step too slow, Dan.
He knew what he was doing, but had he gotten away with it, he was going to the net.
Yeah, he had absolute full throttle.
You mentioned Campbell in the last shift there as he went over that blue line, but I thought that was a great shift from our Blake Campbell there. A quite dominant shift. I like to see him when he's out there. That's a big body. I like to see him getting up to speed.
All right.
That's the one part I didn't have, was the big body, Dave.
Puck dropped and now kept in, centered, swell pass, and Gene couldn't make the backhand. There's about 3 attempts there. Play those back. I don't know how they were missed. Shot from Frere, just wide. Referee Adam Nagy getting tangled up in the corner there with a couple players out of the play. Who we got there? 7-yard, Gene, Chamberlain all along the boards. Mawson now with it. Mawson can't get it out. Tackles.
Bodies flying around.
I think that was Roth that he tackled. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm watching behind the play as Roth got belted around along the boards.
And that bit of
Stevens,
contact is actually what turned into the offensive chance.
That's right. So nothing out of that hit. But great opportunity there for the Admirals. Pure NZ.
And it is now a 1-1 game.
I believe there's only 4 minutes, 19 seconds left in this first period.
You are correct.
And we have a 1-all game. So, yes, very, very different. The skates on the other foot. Flight getting bumped down by Hayward Jones. And just tapped out. Here's Rusky Jones. Pass across, couldn't hit Harrison. And it's kicked out to the red line where Vesper collects it, taps behind the net, rolls to the corner. And Amston hits Flight. Big lead pass to Rusky Jones.
Sneaking in behind the D.
Sneaky. Centering pass ends up all the way down the ice where Roby collects, getting dogged heavily and almost losing it. Roby in the corner now takes behind the net, being great forechecking there by Admirals, who are going to end up with it if they keep going. Amston carrying up.
Oh. And we almost had that.
Almost had it.
Contact with the goaltender there.
Regan with it. Red line. Hits Cichon over the blue line. Quick shot. Right on the numbers.
I feel the physicality's been ticked up another notch by both teams. Auckland Pure NZ Admirals are the ones who I think have taken the lead there, putting their body on the line.
But the lift, as you would remember, the lift from a goal, that, you know,
absolutely,
it brings everybody up, emotions up.
A little mojo.
Yeah. Yeah, puts a bit of pep in the step. Back to King on the point shot. Kick to the corner. Batted up but not out. Controlled by Roby. McCog holds on the red line. Cross ice. Cross ice.
We've got a delayed penalty for a high stick.
I think that'll be Flight. That'll get quick shot, and again 2 shots. Brooks pulling off some spectacular saves. Stevens, and finally Stampede touch it.
Just next to us here at the side of the SkyCity Stampede bench, I think I saw a bit of a cross-check slide up the chest and get under the chin.
Yeah, I did hear perspex against stick.
Yes.
Which is
that noise is so very clear.
But I think it was Reagan's bubble mask that got a little bit of a belt. So, all right, here's a great opportunity for Pure NZ, but Stampede have such a dynamic penalty kill. We'll see what happens. With 2 minutes, 29 seconds left in this first period. Reagan with it, can hold on the blue line. Back to the corner. Cross ice. Shot. Pushed to the boards. Reagan fires it on target. Brooks pushes that to the corner. De Jong centering pass. Off the timber. Great defensive work in front of the net by the Stampede.
Good first 30 seconds on the power play by the Admirals as well. Moving that puck around cleanly, but SkyCity Stampede certainly have a pressure-heavy penalty kill, which we like to see.
Yep. Big hustle there by the Gene to foul up Regan's shot from the point. Back to Regan one time, and Brooks gloves that. It was going high, but I think it was it Calzini that had to duck, so it's coming for his head. Leaving it open for Brooks to collect.
One of the things the SkyCity Stampede do so well is they, even though they're a man down, they still just don't give a power play much time to move the puck.
Leaving the team to set it up. A little heavier pressure than most teams would.
Every time they see, it's a read situation, every time they see a player bobble the puck or that puck bounce a little on somebody, they take advantage of that. They get into their space and into their hands.
Into their heads. Banging it up. Regan can't keep that in. Devlin is knocked down by Regan, but nothing in it. Sevigny over the blue line. Shot off the netting, not the net, off the netting, which is the dead zone.
Sevigny is a good Sevigny is a good French name, I feel. Who do we have out there for our SkyCity Stampede here? Devlin, Amston, Harrison.
Rusky Jones.
That's a strong penalty kill.
Harrison, who's got some muscle against Quinn. Still fighting for it, hustling hard. Finally, Haywood Jones collects it behind his own net. Mawson over his blue line, over the red line. Mawson carries, fires around, and it's railed all the way around by Amston. Hayward Jones to Henry. He's pushed back by Amston. Mawson, Quinn, shot, controlled by Brooks, but not out. Sticks getting in the way there on the Admirals for the Stampede.
And another great clear by the Stampede.
Admirals start to move it out of their own zone. Stevens over the blue line. Taps it to the corner. Behind the net. Back to the point. Shot. And Gene has it. Leaves for Roth. Off a leg. Rusky Jones over the blue line. Still controlling. Back to Roth, takes a shot wide. Stevens for NZ Pure, and that's it. And the penalty's over, the period's over.
One of the quicker periods I feel we've had this season.
I might have to lubricate my my voice here.
You and I both. But Last night's score was not indicative of the play, and I think tonight's first period surely is showing that it's a far more evenly matched game than the score showed last night.
I would have said for the first half of that period, leaning towards the Stampede, and then the tide changed a little bit. And then, like, once the Admirals got that goal, they lifted
it up.
They picked up their step.
In many ways, right? They're getting that puck. I mean, this is such a classic line, right, in hockey: get pucks deep, get puck. But it really was that way, like you said, in the first half. The SkyCity Stampede were doing that, getting pucks into the corner and then working into the net. And in the second half, it certainly felt like the Admirals were doing that.
Yeah. So the other issue will be to keep a level head, stay out of the box. And definitely with you, not so much about tonight, but moving forward, skatey punchy isn't what they want for the rest of the.
No, I totally agree. And when you're a top dog, that's often what happens. Guys come for you.
And end up, that would create a lot of ripple effects for the rest of the
playoffs. Yes.
Playoffs. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. I'm Dave Dumnick.
I'm Dan Van Sickle.
Well, we're back early. That's great. We're here, second period, only minute away from the boys skating out. But great opportunity to talk about that first period. That was like sustained, whistle-less hockey.
Absolutely, quite back and forth. And, you know, just walking through the fans in the intermission there, you can feel a little bit more tension than last night, which is great.
Yeah, they're not as jovial.
Yeah,
they may not be
a
as,
game to be played right now.
But they may not be as lubricated yet. It's only the first period. So Admirals skating out now. So some other things. Did you catch the end of the game? I didn't catch the end of the Botany.
Neither did I, but we'd have to look up. So there will be a decision there, and
I'm sure there'll be about 1,000 people pushing the button right now, telling us what the score was. But the other interesting one is in the Women's League. Auckland and Dunedin tied up at 1-1.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really neat to see.
Great to see.
Going into their playoffs next weekend.
Yep, I know Dunedin is hungry. Some of our local Queenstown girls are down there for university, and they have quite a strong team this year.
That's right, turncoats. Yes. Oh, well. Big shout out, Nigel. Hope you're staying warm. Richie, keeping busy. So, what do you say? Admirals just have to keep up good quality shots. Stampede, keep that passing that they're doing in the offensive zone. They were doing really well and just couldn't seal the deal in a few of those.
Shots are 17-13 for the Stampede, so we did see our SkyCity Stampede put a few more shots on net that period. I bet you we're going to see that even out a little here.
All right, so referee Adam Nagy about to drop the puck. Back to Amston in his zone with Rusky Jones. And red line flight taps to the puck behind the net. Wrestling for it is Harrison in the corner. And it's knocked out by Pure NZ. Vesper, wide shot. Vesper picks it up off the boards. Flight can't clear it. Henry can't get a handle on it. Puck rolling in front, forcing Brooks to almost skate out of the crease to collect that.
And our first whistle of the second period.
Yes. Had a couple glasses of water just to get... It's still not helping. My throat's a little croaky.
We'll keep track of whistles. If it gets over 5, we'll stop. But I don't think we had over 5.
All period.
Yeah. It was close.
Face off
the
to
over-under.
Face off to the right of Brooks. Flight facing off against Regan. Rolls behind the net. Kelzuni up but not out. Shot intercepted as they were tapping it out. Stefan got a...
I was going to say, Roth did a good job of sticking with that one. He caught his edge there behind the net and had to stick with the puck, but like good defense do, they put their body on the line to make a good play and tried to hit that up the wall.
Reagan facing off against Flight again to the left of Brooks. Rusky Jones over the blue line. He had Harrison with him in the center. Turned around.
For it.
Harrison collects it in his own zone. Frere with it. Cross ice to Roth. Up to Harrison. Can't collect it. Roth hits Frere in his own zone again. Being harassed by Regan. And Roth collects in his own zone. Again, Regan doing some great work harassing behind the net. Gene with it. Gene to Frere. Stampede struggling to get those tape-to-tapes.
They sure are. The Regan line's quite strong.
Gene in the corner, loses it. Hayward Jones collects it, taps it behind the net. And Stevens has it, taps it to the red line. To the other Stevens. That rails behind the Stampede net. Amston battling for it. And finally passed up, but too far. And icing is the call.
Like you said, we're seeing pucks not necessarily making it tape to tape, but so long as that first pass gets made, right? It's always about that first pass, the defense coming out behind their own net, making that pass tape to tape to their winger. And then at least the puck gets out of the zone, not resulting in a dangerous play.
Yeah, the breakout's pretty important at this time. Spinning shot by De Jong.
Some good contact on that shot attempt.
Devlin over the blue line. Carries to the corner. Smashed into the boards heavily. Devlin's looking at referee Adam Nagy saying, what was that? De Jong over the blue line. Rusky Jones and De Jong finally tapped up to Jean. Jean has a chance here by himself, being heavily dogged though. Great defensive by NZ, pure NZ. Calzuni in his own zone. Chalice, and icing is the call. Chalice couldn't quite get a piece of that on the red line as Calzuni was firing it down the ice.
No, and Connor Jean with another great opportunity there, but had two Admirals draped all over him.
Yeah, they did well to step into him because he had the Jets on.
Yep,
and he does have a bit of pepper.
He sure does.
Amston off the boards, feeds Chalice, who's hustling all the way down. Tries to center, goes behind the net. Puck rolls to the corner. Chalice picks it up, centers, and it's tapped out by Citron, who gives chase. He's got
unfortunate whistle there for the Admirals, as that was not meant to be an icing.
Right, because it was tapped by.
All good. Referees sometimes make mistakes. We're all human, and that one gets brought back to center ice.
I once made a mistake.
Never to happen again.
Never to happen again. Yeah. All right, Vesper up against McCog on that face-off on the center dot. Mawson. And now Vesper over the blue line. Shot off the glass into the corner. There's a bit of a trouble in that corner. Lots of falling down there.
Slip and slide.
Slip and slide. Slip and skate. Puck.
Oh, and no call there
no
by
call
referee
there.
Adam Nagy.
Jack Roby's wishing there was a call there, but nothing there. Henry feeds Vesper, taps it up, collected by True in his own zone. True can't get it away and ends up chasing it and rails it around to Rusky Jones behind the net. Citron over the blue line. He's got help. He's got Chamberlain up front with Cheney. And a little flick up, bounce over Mawson's stick, allowing Rusky Jones to collect it deep in the pure NZ zone. Mawson off the boards. It's tapped back to Chamberlain. Chamberlain to Cheney, who taps it up, but it's hits something over there and obviously bounces out.
If my eyes aren't failing me, the SkyCity Stampede have yet to put a shot on net this period yet.
Interesting. 15-13 left in the second period.
Shots are now 17-15.
Puck dropped in the offside dot, rolls into Stampede zone, and McCog, Jean, over the blue line, feeds Freer. Stefan collects it, but loses it behind the net. Devlin, cross ice to Freer, to Lockie Freer, taps it behind the pure NZ net. Stampede, center, Devlin, quick shot, and another one, puck rolling around on the face-off circle, and collected by Kursamaga just to slow things down, as that was a awkward bouncing puck.
Connor Jean doing a great job of evading 3 Admirals in the offensive zone there. One of them lost their stick, and 2 others tried to come in and double, and he just slipped that puck through, making a nice pass.
We've said that he was slippery.
He has such great vision, always looking to find his teammates one step ahead.
Game vision. Admirals finally get it out of their own zone. In the neutral zone is Amston. He muscles his way past Hayward Jones, I believe, and great shot on net, but
one of the things about Steph Amston is he is such a strong skater, and it's not just about speed and when he's going. It's in the transition moments, from skating backwards to transitioning to skating forwards. He's one of the best at it in this league, and he can catch players off guard. He jumped up in the play quickly there, didn't he?
yes, sure did. And Jean losing it just over the line. Delayed offside, but it's Stampede cleared the zone. And Sevigny can't control it in the Stampede blue line. Amston.
Once again, transition skating. How quickly can he make that happen?
Beautiful knockdown on that pass by Stefan. And Devlin knocks and Kennedy down. Devlin stops. Try that again. Devlin knocked Kennedy down, allowing that puck to become free. And carried in by Lachlan Freer.
Lachlan Freer with another goal this weekend. He sure does have a great shot. That's why our goaltenders use him as their warm-up shooter.
Yeah.
The only thing is he tries to not put them past the goalie before the game for our goaltenders, but he does a great job of putting them past the goaltenders when it's against the other teams.
So we're looking at a 2-1, 13 minutes, 40 seconds left, 2-1 for the SkyCity Stampede.
And they must have heard me say they had not yet scored they had not yet put a puck on net, because since I've said that, the shots are now 21-15.
True, taps it to the blue line. Mawson just dumps it back into the neutral zone, and then it's fired into Stampede area. Mawson on the blue line. Still has it. Little shot. Kick to the corner by Brooks. Centering pass. Can't be collected. Henare behind the net. Centering. Dangerous for Vesper right there in front. He had a great opportunity. Couldn't get a lot on it, though.
A great shift so far by the Auckland captain, Vesper.
Puck bouncing in front. Cleared out by McCog. McCog, little flip up. Great control by Mawson to tap it back to the red line. Turned around by Quinn, who's muscled off the puck in the cafe corner. Chalice to McCog. He's got Campbell with him. Centering to Campbell. Intercepted by Mawson. Mawson turns it around. Fired up to Chamberlain over the blue line. Bouncing puck. Couldn't control it. Rusky Jones. He's got Harrison with him. There's a penalty called.
Bit of a conversation happening between Regan and Rusky Jones there.
So we'll see what happens there. Yeah. Regan taking 2 minutes. I don't know what you call that.
As the SkyCity Stampede go on the power play here.
Great test. The first power play they've had tonight. So good opportunity for them to stamp another one home. Shot, gloved. Kursamaga just stopping that. Quick little shot, though.
Those kinds of, that penalty for Auckland, the timing on that is so unfortunate for the Admirals, as they had some pretty sustained pressure going against us here over the last couple of minutes.
Puck cleared just out. Roth with it over the red line, blue line, along the boards to the corner. takes it, centering pass, puck bounces, and is cleared. Steven given choice against Gene, and nothing in that, referee says.
Good,
and here's a chance for Gene over the. Roth can't collect that. Back to Freer, carries behind the net. Leaves it behind the net. Roth back to the Gene on the point. Roth along the boards. Gene cross ice to Amston. Amston carries to the corner. Struggling to control it. But Gene picks it up on the blue line. Roth, Gene. Amston's shot. And Kursamega gets in the way of that one quickly. And Admirals get the deserved line change.
Curso Magos keeping the Admirals in it with that save.
Roth over the blue line. Hammers the brakes. Back to the point. Amston. Gene back to Amston. Waiting for the opportunity. Puck off an ankle. Drifts to the corner. Cleared out quickly. Shot on target.
Auckland will be happy to have the Stampede shooting from distance on the power play. They just don't want to let that puck get into
absolutely. That's that whole
slot.
Just keep them pushed out. Lots of room, lots of vision for Kursamega to be able to see that shot.
Yep, it's about boxing out.
And not getting a deflection accidentally.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you're trying to block a shot and it ends up going in your own net. You never like to see those happen.
You owe the goalie a beer. So he gobbles that up. Kursamega gobbles that up. Face off to the right of Kursamega. Flight taking the face off for the Stampede. Back, clear back, but too far back.
Too clean of a win.
Freer is behind the net. Heavily. And there's be a penalty there. So I think they just cleared that one penalty. And now there's a tackling. Henry tackling. We'll see what that call is.
I've been paying attention and
holding.
It's been noticeable that the Admirals are starting to line match a little bit. So we've seen some players come on to take a face-off, and if that face-off is lost, they go straight off. I imagine if that face-off had have been won, they would keep possession.
Man, you got good eyes.
Oh, well, the game within the game. We're always watching.
Sneaky. Amston cross to Roth. To the corner. McCog. Gets some help from Freer. Bouncing puck. And Amston 3 swipes at it. Still couldn't keep it in. Unlucky bouncing puck. Gene. Amston. Here's a chance for Admirals. Swell work there by Stefan. Unbelievable. Muscles his way past a couple of those very strong Stampede players.
That is called perseverance and sticking with it. You've mentioned a few times tonight about how that puck bounces. I'm not sure if our fans at home know that, the puck is made of rubber, and rubber, of course, can be quite bouncy. So oftentimes what you'll see is an arena will keep pucks on ice, and that makes them a little less bouncy. But we have had a bouncy puck tonight.
Very bouncy. Freer over the blue line. Taps up to Flight. Rails it around to the far corner. Harrison can't collect that. And that pure NZ clear it down the ice. Harrison over the blue line. Rolling, uncomfortable puck that rolls on the stick. Just a little bit awkward. Back to the point. Harrison along the boards. Back to Freer. Freer shot deflected off of Vesper's leg. Back to the point. Chalice taps across. One-time shot by Freer. Kick save by Magus. Devlin with it now. Devlin back to Freer. Cross ice to Chalice. Chalice moves it up the boards. Freer one times, and that stick goes broken. Unlucky. He had it all teed up. Shot, and again,
Mitchell Freer can shoot it so hard he blasts a stick into two.
But the Admirals are just letting them shoot from the outside, you know, and they're
good penalty killing.
They're kind of backing their goalie, just saying, you know, as long as he can see it, he'll stop it.
Sure is. Dylan Devlin's had a bit of a target on his back. I've noticed this game. He's been the target of a few good hits, but always willing to take it, and a smile on his face is Dylan Devlin.
Smile on his face. And well done by Chamberlain, railing that down with only 8 seconds left in the penalty to NRA. Now nothing as they turn it around quickly. Can't control it. Was 7-year centering it. Admirals couldn't get a bouncing puck in front of the net. Unfortunate for them as Stampede move it through. And
as mentioned, Dylan Devlin, a bit of a target.
He's got a stick where it doesn't belong, and it looks like there may be another. We'll just see.
Watching him get
Chamberlain
to the bench, what I see is Dylan Devlin acting as though his shoulder might be a little hurt. But what happened on the ice was that a stick got caught in the midsection as Dylan Devlin was making his way around a defender, and it kind of twisted him awkwardly, you know?
So this is the third penalty in a row that just as the previous penalty gets out, then so
hard to keep any momentum or get any momentum.
Yeah, but I've got to say they've stopped 4 minutes of sustained pressure by the Stampede. Shot deflected high, kept in, shot. Freer collects it in the body as the Admirals move it out. Stefan with it, centering. Hayward Jones takes a wide shot, hoping for a deflection.
Oh, and a high stick.
And there's going to be another penalty here. Amston's got himself in trouble. So that's unfortunate.
You're a bit of a Nostradamus. You were the one who mentioned that everybody might have to keep things a little bit more safe and not get so riled up.
Did you call me a Mastrodonus?
Not Nostradamus.
So I'm not a dinosaur.
No. Just good at predicting the future, Dave.
Okay.
You've been around long enough.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur. I'll admit it. Oh my goodness. So from advantage to actually they'll end up with a few seconds of disadvantage. It's 4-on-4.
4-on-4 hockey is the only time you feel like you have any space here in
this
Queenstown Ice Rink.
Controlling his Eid. Starting to move it up is Hayward Jones. DeJong shot and cleared up and out just to the red line. Swell work there by Jean. Turned around quickly. DeJong, big backhand. 7-year, can't control it in the corner. That's tapped up to Jean on the blue line. He's got Roth. Shot. Puck rolls free. And finally, Jean takes a swipe at it right into the pads of Curso
Couple of
Maga.
good opportunities there, and Curso Magos making some good saves.
End to end. Like Brooks was forced on a save, and Curso Magas first and back and forth. Man,
you can, I'm a bit of a hockey purist, but you can understand why they've adapted 3-on-3 hockey for overtime, because when there are less players on the ice, it does go back and forth.
And it is exciting.
Yeah.
Mawson over the blue line, carries over the red line. Into the corner, Mawson behind the net. Rusky Jones and Mawson in the corner. Mawson still has it. Gives to Vesper, takes a shot off the timber, and that'll be a whistle.
I'm looking over at the Stampede bench now and seeing that Dylan Devlin's got a smile on his face again. So I think we'll see him get back on the ice, which is great. Not to see him be injured.
I don't think I've ever seen Dylan Devlin without that smile. I think he's permanently that way. 6:04 left
in the
bit of
a wry smile.
Wry, good word, wry smile. Rusky Jones to Chalice. Chalice over the red line. He's got Rusky Jones and Rusky Jones with him. Robbed on the boards was Chalice, and it's behind the net. Great intercept there by Ollie. And it's moved up over the blue line. Sevignier, he's got Ede with him on the point. So shot just wide. And Brooks just covers that up.
I do really like the style of play of the pure NZ Admirals captain, Vesper. He's a strong body, and he moves well, but he's always willing to be first on the puck. And watching him out there, again, we've said this about the game within the game. He's always doing the little things, lifting somebody's stick when he's in their vicinity, making sure he's shoulder on shoulder. He's doing a lot of good things over
leading from the front.
Absolutely.
Kept in. Ede, shot, scores! Brooksy was screened. Brooks, that was a great play.
It absolutely
Admirals
was a great
drift
play.
in front. Create a screen.
Admirals asking for the puck, so that may be a first goal by that player.
We could have a hockey game.
We absolutely do have a hockey game, Dave.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic for the fans. Both sides. There's a lot of Admiral fans here. I mean, come down, maybe a little bit of hockey, a little bit of skiing.
A really important face-off win on the power play by the Admirals there. That was Captain Vesper.
And a delayed offside there. Jackson Flight couldn't collect the bouncing puck. So the face-off.
The shots seem to be coming in bunches. It's a bit of a seesaw going on here.
Teeter-totter.
Shots are now 23-22, so we've evened it out quite a bit.
So Campbell. Back to Roth. Cross ice. Harrison, red line. Campbell off his skate into the corner. Chamberlain. Campbell says hello to Chamberlain behind the net. Crowd liked that.
I realized earlier that I credited Logan's brother Blake for some of Logan's good play, but that's another hockey family in our Queenstown community. Two brothers that play within the Stampede hockey teams, and Blake is unfortunately injured, so that was Logan out there.
Yeah, he was injured in U18s.
Yeah.
Only minutes into the first game of that tournament.
Such a shame to see.
Unlucky. He says he'll be back for semis. Shot just off the stick of Chaba. Kursamega made a great save just now. Backhand, puck roll. The great Devlin doing a great blind backhand, and Kursamega forced to glove that as it bounced off his pads.
That would have been a beauty.
Yeah, that would be one for the highlight reels.
Absolutely. You see Devlin, he was talking to Connor Jean, and he's won it to Connor Jean.
Big kick save. Puck bounces, leaves to Freer. Freer off a skate. And Hayward Jones's skate and into the timber.
One of the things we love to see is our centermen talking to their teammates on the face-off dot, letting them know where they'd like to win it.
He just had that look again. He just gave Connor Jean the look. Let's see if that look worked. Nope. Huge hustle here by Cheney, trying to get to it. Freer wanting that icing call, but Cheney wasn't buttoning off. 4 minutes, 17 seconds left. 2-all game. Admirals, Stampede. Face off to the left of Kursamega. Puck bounces to the corner. Hayward Jones has it. Carries behind the net. Stops. Back to the corner. Ede feeds the red line. Or Stefan just dumps it in behind the net. Freer on the red line. Devlin over the blue line. Freer can't does a lot of work to control it, but can't. Puck finally ends up on the red line, and a shot by Stevens. Steven can't see it roll behind the net, so it's up but not out. Stevens loses it over the blue line. Sevigny loses it to Freer. Freer tries to find that open spot.
Off the side of the
Clean
net.
side, but just a little bit shy. Behind the net is Devlin, being harassed by Eade. Back to the point. Shot. Big clutter in front. And Amston can't keep that in. Stevens over the blue line. Drags. Shot off of Rusky Jones's body. And Amston into the corner. Big lead pass to Roby. Chalice shot. Puck. Holy moly.
Bit of a missed play there
Great
by the
play
Admirals.
by the goalie,
Yeah.
Misread there, and Chalice ends up with it in the corner. Fires it in front. It's weird angle, and
Curso Magos makes a good save
he's
there.
forced to make that save because I believe that was Roby right in front, waiting for the crumbs. Rolling puck to the red line. Shot back in. Behind the net by Rusky Jones. Kennedy with it now. Scored that first goal for the, or was it the second goal for the Pure NZ Admirals. In the corner. They've got McCog, Rusky Jones, Kennedy, DeJong.
Good
It's a
wall battle.
big party. Stevens over the blue line. Great work by Rusky Jones to keep it. And a little bit of a backhand by DeJong.
Pretty fancy stuff there. Nearly worked.
It nearly worked. Citron couldn't keep it in. Waits to clear the zone and then dumps it in. Clearing it up, but not out. Chalice with it now on the blue line. Chalice, red line, fires it in. Chaba doesn't quite control that like he wanted to. And Mawson puts it up. Off of a stick. Chamberlain's forced into his back. But Harrison centers. And again, Stampede getting a whole bunch of bouncing pucks in front of the net, but they can't do anything with them.
As we hit 1 minute left in this period.
Huge hustle. I think we ended in a tie at the last period, so this is going to be a very, very busy third period. Entering, flight, slapper, rolls around to True on the close side. In the corner, and you can't keep it in. It rolls all the way down the ice. Collected by Amston. Flight. Devlin, or Amston. Great work by Rusky Jones with only 19 seconds left in the period. Rusky Jones still has it. Wipes out on the blue line. Freer, backhand, just about puts it in. Another one from Freer. And a puck in front of the net, open net. Couldn't tuck it in, and that ends that first period. You know, about 30 seconds left, I was kind of relaxing and saying, oh, well, that's the end of the period. But
and then a few good chances to
never do
finish.
that. Never do that.
I heard you say that, and I thought to myself, let's see what happens here in the last minute.
Yeah, I've just cursed myself badly.
It almost worked for our home SkyCity Stampede, though, Dave. So
yeah, that would have been nice for them to get a goal that close to the end of the period is quite handy. So we're looking at a 2-all game. Third period coming up. Oh my goodness, this is a tense game.
It sure
so
is.
different than last night.
Yeah, and you know, looking out there, actually, if you take a look at our ice surface, it's quite snowy and choppy out there. You know, we were blaming maybe the puck for bouncing around, but I think these boys are working quite hard out there.
Yeah,
and that ice is getting snowy a little earlier on than maybe is usual.
I think it's about as icy as the ski slopes.
Yeah, nearly.
Okay, I'd just like to thank all of our sponsors. Big thanks to SkyCity Queenstown and Tilemax, LBR Consulting, Carter's, Chroma Group, Sports Physio Lab, Crampton and Smith, Cook Brothers Construction, WT Partnership, James Ellen Photography, Media Works, Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, and a big thanks to Ted, Dan, Kendall, and Randy, who are keeping this ice and this whole rink as tidy as it is. It's beautiful. Sold out crowd.
It starts with them, doesn't it?
It does start with them doing all the neat stuff, but it's a sold out crowd. Both Admirals and Stampede people here. Wonderful to see. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll bring you the third period shortly. I'm Dave Dubnick.
I'm Dan Van Sickle.
as the Pure NZ Admirals step onto the ice. Third period, 2-all game. What do you say in the dressing room?
I mean, if you're coaching staff and you're a 2-2 game and you're the coaching staff of the SkyCity Stampede, 36, 35 shots on net. I mean, that's 2 periods in a row with 17 shots on. There's not a lot to change there, is there, Dave?
Well, except not on, in.
Oh, yes, that's correct,
Shots in are good, but shot ons are good, but shot ins are better.
Now, if I'm Coach Jackson for the Pure NZ Admirals, I mean, maybe I am telling them to keep that physicality up and to keep pushing to be under their skin, you know? You don't want penalties, but you do want to find that line and ride it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, man, this is such an important game not to get injured and not to get suspensions.
Yep, you mentioned the ramifications that lead into the playoffs if you do get hurt or suspended.
I think referee Adam Nagy and referee Adam Hissong have been doing a good job, along with linesman Josh Leacock and linesman Nick Flight. They've been fairly even.
Great officiating.
And you know, Team Stripes has done a fairly good job so far. Bit of moisture there on the ice. I can see some. Might need a life jacket down that main lane.
Something to pay attention to. How quickly does the ice get chopped up this period?
Right. You didn't like that last period, did you? Quinn pushes it into Stampede territory. Picked up by Vesper. Spins around in the corner. Robbed of the puck. And it's on Rusky Jones's stick. Along the boards. And delayed offside. Cheeky grin there by Vesper. He knew it was offside, but he's going to continue to play until that whistle. Play to that whistle.
And linesman Nick Flighty had a bit of a delay between what his eyes saw and what his brain wanted to call there, but yeah, it wasn't offside either way.
Definitely offside there.
Sometimes I feel like when they're just on the line and it gets just out of the zone, your brain does take a second to realize that.
You play it back in your mind, perhaps. Amston to the red line for Devlin, but Chamberlain intercepts in his own zone, dumps it in, picked up by Stampede. Frere can't hit his mark, and Chamberlain picks it up in his own zone. Again, huge hustle by the Stampede to try to get control of it. Can't, and it's railed back in around Amston on the red line to Jean, who flicks it in to the corner. Savanier pushes it up to De Jong over the blue line, stops, center shot. Brooks makes that save. Savanier, puck bouncing in front, dangerous, as finally the Stampede turn it around.
Captain Mitch Freer saving that one from the goal mouth.
McCog controlling along the boards. Puck bounces over the blue line onto Savagner's stick. Shot. Brooks makes the save. Back to the shooter. And Hayward Jones takes a wide shot. Big tangle in front, and Freer can't get to it. And finally, it's tapped up and out, where Jean picks it up on the blue. Jean, who's doing a lot of heavy lifting tonight for the Stampede. Eade with it in his corner. Behind the net to Hayward Jones. Moves it up over the blue line. Steffen over the red line, starts to get some speed up. Oh, shot saved. Rusky Jones collects it in the corner, but then it ends up on Chalice's stick. McCog over the red line, fires it in. The puck rolling around along the boards, and finally behind the net. NZ Pure struggling to get it out of their own zone.
Another bit of good hockey play here with no whistle.
Sustained and railing it around to Cheney accidentally. Cheney can't get it out though. Kept in by Stampede. And finally, Admirals get it to the red line. Turned around by Harrison. Harrison starts to move it in. Moves it to the corner. Carries it behind the net. Still has it. Still has it. Spins and shoots. And Sergo Magos makes that save.
Bit of talking behind the net, but our linesman Josh Leacock in there to break it up.
Yeah.
If we go back in time 3 minutes, what we saw was a scramble play at the SkyCity Stampede net, and Aston Brooks had to thank his captain, Mitch Freer, for clearing that one right off the goal line.
He was tangled up badly. In the corner, battle for it. Still battling for it. And finally, it's moved out by Citron. Wide pass to Henare. In front, punt, dangerous bounce. Kick save by Brooks as the puck just bounced on his foot and kicked to the corner. He's forced to do some weird saves tonight.
Amazing to watch him track that puck as it flew through the air. Off his blocker, off his pad.
And here's a chance for Flight. Flight over the blue line. Taps it to the slot, but no one there to collect that. Battling for it in the corner, Chamberlain. And Flight. Rusky Jones is helping out. Rusky Jones collects it. Back to the point for Freer. Freer shot. Bounces off of a stick in the slot. Freer collects it on the blue line again. And it's off a stick and into the timber.
Freer was looking for Flighty in front of the net there.
Great work there.
The SkyCity Stampede are sure putting the pressure on now. We are only 5 minutes into this third period, and the shots have climbed a couple here.
Somebody's going to stamp a goal in shortly, I believe. Rusky Jones, pass hit collected by Regan. Regan shot, scores.
Well, Dave, you called it.
Oh
Somebody
my
did
gosh.
put the puck in the net.
I am so sorry.
Nothing to be
when
sorry
I said
about.
when a goal scored, I kind of was hoping the other way, but well done.
Regan's been playing well all night tonight.
Just a sniper. Top shelf. So 3-2.
Likely listening to what his coach had to say in between periods, just getting that puck on net.
And that pass out of the was intercepted by Reed out of that zone, which was good work on their part. So 3-2 here. Pure NZ Admirals.
My instinct tells me number 11 Connor Jean is going to turn on a little bit here.
Put on the Jets. Hayward Jones with it on the red line. Cheney dumps it in. Admirals. It's kind of got the, Devlin struggling to control it. Finally does on the red line. It's batted to the corner by Caba Magas. Curso Magas, sorry. Now, Admirals move it out. Eade carries to the corner. Behind the net. Bumped up to Amston on the blue line. Amston's got Devlin with him. And offside is the call.
We've got the fans cheering, "Let's go Stampede, let's go," trying to get behind their home team here.
Trying to get the momentum changing sides. But, I mean, to be fair, that was end-to-end hockey up until that goal. And there was just as many opportunities for the SkyCity Stampede in that, but they couldn't sink it.
All it takes is one shot, doesn't it?
That's what they say. Game of within games. Stampede still kind of controlling in that Admiral zone. Banged up but not out. Shot on target, bouncing puck in front. And that was Roby couldn't collect that. Shot again. Oh, through the pads of Kursomaga, and it rolls just off of the post. So close. Turned around quickly. Roth dogging Sevignon, but it's turned around. And there's Dejean over the blue line. He's bumped off the puck, controlled by Stampede. Freer has a couple guys on him in the corner, and Chalice ends up with it. Chalice hits McCog, who hits Roth over the blue line. Roth shot, saved by Kursamega. Feed behind the net. Chamberlain intercepts that, but it ends up on Rusky Jones's stick from the point. Shot! And gathered up by Kursamega.
That's a puck that has just creeped past the goal line on both sides of the ice now this period. So we've had a few that have been in the crease, just getting through their goaltender and not quite making it into the net.
Yes.
That shot by Mitch Freer snuck through the 5-hole there on Kursamagos.
All right, shot, and he was all over that. Great save, glove save. Kursamega shot from the point. And what the Stampede, I think, are going to need is a little bit of a deflection deep inside.
Get to the front of the net and create a bit of traffic.
Deep slot. Yep.
Flighty, another one face-off. He's doing great on the face-offs tonight.
The entire Admirals bench wanting a holding penalty there. Couldn't be kept in by Rusky Jones. Amston dumps it in.
Playing the third period with a bit of music.
Yeah. Trying to get the fans wound up. Quinn with it over the blue line. Shot off a leg. Bounces to the corner. Vesper goes after it. Can't collect. Amston has it. There's Amston keeps it in. Some spectacular footwork by Amston to keep that in. And King. Flight. Leaves for Roth. Up to Rusky Jones. Feeds Roth there. And there'll be an interference call. And he knows it. I think that's Mawson.
It's amazing when you see a team move the puck as well as the SkyCity Stampede did just then. How crisply they made those three passes to break out of their zone through the neutral zone and get it in to the offensive zone. Boy, does that make the defensive team have to stretch themselves.
Yeah, and Mawson just had to sort of do something to clear that center out because it was definitely getting cluttered. So here we go, a chance for the SkyCity Stampede. Kick to the blue line, but not out. Roth with it. Roth off the glass in front of the net. Puck behind the net, bouncing off the net.
Roth with some great high-level skating there on the blue line. Watching him walk the line. It was a one face-off, but a bit of a scramble, and the SkyCity Stampede defense both Roth and Jean had to swap places there. Some great technical skating.
Unhappy with that puck drop, but there was a great sneaky move happening there, and it worked beautifully, except whistled dead. So we'll see what happens here. All right, puck drop to the right of Kursamega. Back to the point. Along the boards again, point. That's Chalice being heavily dogged. Lead pass to Freer, can't collect it. Rolls to the corner. Hayward Jones bounces him off the puck, rolls behind the net. Still gathered up by SkyCity Stampede. Chalice, pass in front, backhand, kind of soft. Freer just trying something there, but Kursamega had his eyes on that.
He sure did. I think Freer was looking maybe for a rebound off of that one, but doing everything he could to get it on net, that's for sure.
Right, face off in that pure NZ zone.
McCarg on his strong backhand here. But a great face-off win by Captain Vespa of the pure NZ Admirals.
Henry and Roth battling for it and slaps off the timber. So it'll be another face-off.
We're definitely seeing a bit more conversation happening between the players in this officiating this period.
Back to the point. Gene shot. And Kursamega gloves that. Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He sure does. I spoke too soon earlier when I said that Max McCarg was strong on his backhand. He's now won 3 face-offs on his forehand, which is usually the harder side of the ice to win a face-off on. And again, he is quite good at that.
He's fancy. Shot. Save. Again, Kusamag had his eyes on that puck all the way through. Stampede not getting a chance to get a clip of it. Bad bounce. And ended up on the red line with Roth and Jean in the backfield. Roth with it now. Over the red line. Over to Jean. Jean hits Roth. Puck bounces over the slot. Back to Amston on the point. Walks it to the center. Shot. Off the boards. Shot. Again from Roth. Can't get a piece of it though.
Referees let some hard play go in front of the net there. Lachlan Freer took a cross-check from behind. No call.
Back to the blue line. Amston with it now. Walks it in. Roth, Jean, shot. And Chris Omega makes the save as Vespa can't clear it out. Shot again. And good deflection in front. But again, finally cleared out by Vespa. And icing is a call because the penalty is over. So
after that power play for the SkyCity Stampede, the shots are now 45 to 26.
Don't go.
Chaba is playing very strong.
Stonewall. All right, so Admirals are dying for a change, and it's not happening at the moment. So again, tackle. There's a scrum there. Puck bounces out.
And the Admirals are able to get their needed change with an injured player doing his best to get off the ice here.
Stampede on the red line. Rusky Jones offside is the call. Rusky Jones.
Admirals player Benjamin DeJong currently on the bench, writhing in pain. No good to see.
Ankle, foot, knee.
That is what it looked like. Ankle.
All right, face off in the offside dot. 5-on-5. 9 minutes, 46 seconds left. 3-2 Admirals.
A 1-goal game.
Puck rolling around on the dot. Shot by Flight as he was falling.
And a great hit by Harrison.
Cleared out. And Freer is forced all the way back behind his net, being harassed by Savignon. Harrison tackled on that line. There's a chance. McCog pushes it over the blue line. Haraski Jones carries to the corner. Puck bounces off the boards to the point. True can't keep that in, but Savignon over the blue line slams on the brakes, loses the puck. Turned around by Roth. Roth moves past a couple players, muscles his way past a couple, waiting to center that puck. Shot, Flight, Chamberlain collects, bumps it up, and it rolls all the way down the ice. Chalice can't collect that, but finally gets it behind the net.
Important block shot by Chamberlain there.
Roth again pushes his way over the red line. He's got some help. Chalice, shot blocked. Chalice leaves for Roth, and they tap it out.
It is hit or be hit out there.
This might go for icing, and it does. So Admirals don't get what they need, which is that line change. Big thanks to Josh Moore and T, who are working really hard there, pushing the buttons and moving the camera around. Face off deep in the pure NZ Admirals zone. Back to Jean. Pushes it to the corner. Devlin centers. Puck behind the net. Cheney. Mawson on the blue line, or on the red line. Mawson still has it. Finally loses it. Cross ice to Freer. Freer taps it in front, and beautiful passing, tic-tac-toe.
It sure was. Connor Jean to Lachlan Freer to
Devlin?
Ollie Rusky Jones.
Oh, Ollie Rusky Jones, yes. Back door was left open.
And great to see another defense on the SkyCity Stampede jumping up into the offensive zone. We've got plenty of fans bashing the boards and hands in the air here.
Yeah, very happy. This is going to make for an exciting, an exciting last game of the season, actually. We can call it that, can't we?
We sure can.
All right. Amston with it over the blue line. They're fired up. Amston skates it and still has it. Couldn't get that last stick handle.
And Amston and Rusky Jones as defenders are incredible offensively.
Well, dangerous, dangerous at all points. Quinn with it on the red line. Rails it in behind the net. Brooks stops it behind the net. Cheney, shot. And it's knocked up and out. And it doesn't make it to the icing line, so they're forced all the way back to collect it. Henry dogging Roth as he got it out to the blue line. It's turned back again. Roth. Rusky Jones fires it up, and Eade is forced to chase it, and icing is the call. He had Connor Harrison in pursuit.
He is a freight train when he gets going like that.
Yeah.
Connor Harrison is one of those players that from the very beginning when I first met him when I moved to Queenstown, he has a bit of a persona that kind of puts the fear in you. But once you get to know him, you realize why he's the captain of the team. He's quite a good leader.
Great to see. Puck rolls around on the blue line and finally tapped out by the SkyCity Stampede, forcing Eade back into his own zone. Great hustle there by Rusky Jones. Finally pushed off the puck, but there's a couple Stampede players trying to find the puck as it rolls between the feet. Freer taps it up to Rusky Jones, collects a rolling puck, and tries to put it on net and just puts it on net and nothing in it as Kursamaga collects that for a line change for both teams and a face-off deep in pure NZ zone.
Stampede are only a couple of shots away from hitting the 50 mark here tonight.
Yeah, and mind you, the Admirals, that one shot they've had lately was a goal, so I guess that's not bad. Back behind the net, rolls to the corner where Flight tries to center, he can't. Picked up by De Jong. Amston and De Jong in the corner, then it's Campbell in the corner, and Amston taps it up to Chalice. Amston with it in his own zone. Big lead pass. That's going to be an icing call. No, waved off. Not sure about that, but it's that Campbell rolling around. And it finally rolls over the blue line where Regan picks it up. Chalice behind the net. Loses it. Great hustle there by Steven. Amston.
Last 5 minutes.
Jean's skate. Taps it up. Just out. Shot. Good save. Sneaky little one that forces Brooks to kick it to the side. And Devlin got it down his shirt. He thought all his Christmases had come at once because he actually got past. And then the only thing we're missing is the...
I'm surprised we didn't see Devlin just skate himself straight into the net there.
With a smile on. All right, so we've got 4 minutes, 54 seconds left. 3-all game. Jean and Roth in the backfield. Devlin taking the face off of the referee's leg. Hayward Jones behind the net, hits Henry. And Devlin has it. Devlin feeds Jean. Jean shot. Scores!
Connor Jean. Another multi-goal night. That one just snuck through the 5-hole, or potentially just over the right pad.
So, yeah, that's got to sink a bit of a...
Just snuck through between the blocker and the right pad under the stick.
Okay. Well,
you know, that's where we get told to shoot as a lefty. As a lefty coming down the right wing, if you can shoot for that stick side about a foot off the ice or 30 centimeters off the ice for those of us here.
So Hayward Jones in his own zone being harassed by Rusky Jones. Flight gets it. Behind the net is Harrison, tries to center. Puck rolls in front here, tripped it. Nothing in that. Nothing in that. He takes a rumble on the ground. Finally, Pure NZ move it up over the blue line, and offsides the call. There's a lot of action happening off the puck, and there's a few conversations being had. And
there sure are. Jackson Flight waving.
Go away, go away. So 7 yard, but I mean, it's about getting goals now. It's real important. 4 minutes left, just over 4 minutes left in this game. If Admirals have a chance to do anything, they need that goal.
Also good to see Jackson Flight staying out of the dirty stuff there. Don't need a penalty.
No,
with 4 minutes left.
Definitely not. And I'm sure that both coaches are saying we can't afford that right now. McCog behind the net. In the corner now. Tries to get to the point, but can't. 7 yard feeds. De Jong, who carries over the blue line, bumped off the puck behind the net and turned around quickly by Amston. Amston feeds McCog. McCog to Roby, can't collect it. Puck rolls off of Rusky Jones, or Devlin's Rusky Jones's skate. They're slipping and sliding everywhere.
Blows a tire.
McCog feeds Gene, who can't collect it, and it's tapped back into the Stampede zone. Tapped back out. Gene collects it. Feeds Freer, bounces over his stick, and he feeds behind the net. Gene, shot, cross ice, tapped up, collected by Freer. A puck free for Regan, and Regan can't collect it and get a shot away. On the red line, Admirals shot. Cleared up, but not out. And not out again. Regan muscles it into center. Collected by Stevens. This could be dangerous here. And finally, Stampede get out. Eade. Across the Vesper, feeds Eade. Eade. And great break there by Freer, and smashing it down the ice just as they've pulled their goalie. That's the Pure NZ have pulled their goalie. Regan kicks it back into his own zone. And Amston, Flight dumps it in. 1 minute, 52 seconds left. A lot of time left in this game. And off the boards and down the ice again. And Roby gives chase. Hayward Jones behind his own net. And here's a shot just blocked, nicely blocked, as it looked like it was on target. Amston fires it off the top of the net.
Don't know if I've ever seen that one before, Dave.
Basket, if you know, like a basketball basket. And it bounces off the net and offsides the call as 7. I think Amston's going to have a laugh about that one.
Well, he'll have a laugh if things go their way at the end of the night tonight. But Steph Amston, being one of the most skilled players on the ice, I'd love to ask him to do that again and see if he could.
Get it into the top of the net, hitting the top of the net. 1 minute, 20 seconds left. 50 shots, 29.
Incredible.
4-3 here for the SkyCity Stampede, who sunk two goals. Back to Brooks, who taps it to the side. Freer. They've got their goaltender in again, waiting for the control. In the corner, battling for it. Shot off the timber.
A great stick by Connor Jean there, making sure he got a piece of that puck.
Right, just protecting, not letting them get a clean shot away, and timeout called. So it's about not getting the clutter in front of the net, so there's screens or deflections.
Yep.
And when you're getting your stick in the way, that you're far enough away from the goalie that if it isn't a clean block by the stick, that the goaltender can react to it. Nothing worse than scoring on your own goalie with a deflection.
No, you're right. I just saw goaltender Aston Brooks give a thumbs up to his bench over there, which means he's obviously in good spirits. Like you said, just need him to be able to have eyes on it. Everything he's been able to see tonight, clearly, he's been able to put a body on.
Yeah, he stops anything he sees, but it's hard to look through bodies. Those cheeky deflections.
Now the Admirals will keep their goaltender off of the ice, so they'll still have a man advantage here.
All right, so it's all or nothing, all the marbles here. 20 minutes left on the clock at the moment. They're going to have to fix that.
What we actually have is 53 seconds.
We'll see. So they're just going to sort out the clock. Wow. Big thanks to all our volunteers all season that have been involved in this at all levels. This hockey league here in New Zealand only works on volunteers, so big thanks.
A great community is the NZIHL.
Huge communities. Queenstown. And it's a chance here along the boards. Shot pushed behind the net. 44 seconds left. Now, big hustle. Finally, puck rolling down the ice, forcing Eade back into his own zone behind the net. 30 seconds left. Turning it upfield. Leave, shot off an ankle. And all the way down the ice, and it'll be icing.
And the Admirals will get 14 seconds in the offensive zone here.
Yeah, so this
4-3 Stampede with 14 seconds, just how you want it to go.
Yeah. You know, the fans paid for the entire seat, but they're only using the edge of it at the moment, as the offside is not the call. Pile on, and that ends it. They don't need to be involved. They don't need to get anywhere involved. Now, I was going to say last weekend, I didn't want to say it till after the game, but
referees and linesmen are trying to clear this kerfuffle. I think what we did see is an actual penalty called there, though. I'm curious to know if it's anything more than a minor for boarding.
I'm sure it would be just a minor. Adam Nagy and Ryan Hissong had conversations about what exactly happened.
You did mention earlier about how you would not want to get suspended.
No, that would be silly, really silly at this time. Oh, cross-check.
Looking like a cross-check.
But last weekend, Stampede, I bit my tongue. 2 seconds left, or 3 seconds left, got a goal scored on them to lose that game. So I didn't want to say anything, so they did well.
Oh, well, a great game from the home SkyCity Stampede tonight against the Pure NZ Admirals. 4-3 win, a 50-shot performance, and a great performance as well from goaltender Aston Brooks. 26 of 29 shots he saved.
And Kirsten Maga, took a barrage and did very well.
He did extremely well.
Like, the Pure NZ Admirals were in this game all the way to the end. One goal in it, and they were leading up until the last few minutes. So a spectacular game fans had a great look at hockey. And
Great weekend of hockey.
yeah, you guys out there.
And it goes without saying that the upcoming playoffs are going to be quite hard fought and fun, and I imagine we'll see some good close games like this one.
Is this a precursor to the finals?
I think
It could be.
calling
It could be.
It
You know,
could
it's
be.
just if all the marbles roll the right way for the Admirals and for the SkyCity Stampede, we could have witnessed an exhibition final.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to all of our fans and our volunteers, and thank you, Dave, for having me as a debut commentator this evening.
I'm honored to have the legend, the Davies, here
thank you,
today.
Dave.
And big thanks to T and Josh for doing all your work today. And thanks to you guys for listening. We'll see you in the playoffs. Thanks.
Have a
Good night.